I want to ask you, what could you do in 25 days in your year to change your life or others' lives? Now I want you to ask the question, do you really not have time? Do you really not have time to do 75 hard? Do you really not have time to do the important things in life? Or are those flat out excuses because you don't have a clear enough vision on where you want to become and who you want to become that you're not placing priority on the things that matter most? If you don't have a clear vision that excites you, that's big, that requires you to grow, then you will slip into mindless activities that suck your energy, mindless activities that lead you away from your ideal life. Your vision is the key. What is up, y'all? It's early morning. I'm driving to the swimming pool. And if you guys have heard any of my previous podcasts, I don't know how to swim, except for I'm tackling that as my big thing this year. And I've actually been looking at that like I recorded in a previous podcast episode. I've been talking about learning how to swim for like 10 years in a row. And so this year I'm going to finally nail it. And you might ask, why this year? You know, what changed, Trevor? What changed this year in 2021, as of the time I'm recording this right now, for you to finally step into slaying that goal of becoming a good swimmer? Well, I can attribute it to one thing. Now, that one thing triggered a lot of other things, but I'm going to give it one thing that triggered the entire series of events that finally got me to take action, finally got me to have the confidence, finally got me not care about what other people think, finally got me to move forward in a material way on learning how to swim that caused it all. I'm going to be talking about that today. And so today right now is day 76. Now, why is day 76 important? What does that mean? What does day 76 mean? January 1st, I started something called the 75 Hard Challenge. Now, I'm going to talk about why the word challenge should not be on the whole statement at all. But on January 1st, I started 75 Hard. I've talked about on this podcast as well how in December of this last year, I chose to make the commitment to say, I'm not going to wait until January 1st to get momentum into the new year. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. But what I'm going to do today, y'all, is I'm going to walk through the 10 lessons that I learned as I went through the 75 Hard experience, not the challenge, the experience. And I'm on day 76 right now. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going and moving into, I think he calls it phase 1 or phase 2 or something like that. When I talk about the 10 things I learned and the misconceptions that are out there and the limiting beliefs that we have that are holding us back from greatness. Not going to say 75 Hard is right for everyone. I can say everyone listening to this can do it with 1,000% confidence. Every single person, every single one of you can do it. Whatever is in your way is fully excuses. I did an Instagram post on this today or last night, and by far the most engaged Instagram post I've ever done. Hundreds of likes, 40, 50, 60 comments already. Go follow me on Instagram, y'all. Trevor.Mauch, that's Mauch. And one of the biggest things in there that I did in my post was blast through the limiting beliefs and the excuses that I had that were holding me back from doing 75 Hard earlier. You know, I don't have time. I already don't have time. When am I going to try to find time to do 2 workouts? You know, let alone trying to fit 1 in right now. Before I started 75 Hard, and before I started my December biking challenge to ride a mile for every day in the month. So on the 14th of December, I rode 14 miles, 25th, 25 miles, the first 1 mile. You get the idea. Okay, my excuse was I don't have time. How am I going to ride 25 miles on Christmas Day? How am I going to ride 31 miles on New Year's Eve when we've got friends over? Things like that. They're excuses. Okay, I'm going to talk about some of my lessons on this and how I blasted through those excuses. So whatever excuses you have about doing 75 Hard or something like that, it's exactly that. It's an excuse. It's a false limiting belief. There's a gal who made a comment, and it's a very common comment. I had the same thought before I did all this. She said, I want to do this. My daughter is doing it. but I've got a full-time W-2 job. I've got my side hustle in real estate. How am I ever going to fit this in? You might be asking the same thing. What is the 75 hard experience? I'll tell you first. It's 2 workouts a day. It's 2 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside, rain or shine. If it's 10 o'clock at night and it's raining outside and you haven't got your workout outside yet, then you got to go outside in the rain and get your workout in. I had many of those. You got to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to eat healthy. You have to pick some sort of a diet plan and follow it. No cheat meals, like 0 cheat meals. Doesn't mean you can't have a little bite of chocolate. Doesn't mean you can't, do something, but you have to be eating within the plan. And it doesn't matter if it's keto or, caveman stuff or whatever it is. You just have to follow something. No alcohol. Read 10 pages of a book every single day. Now, a podcast doesn't count because part of the challenge is creating discipline. It doesn't create any discipline to listen to a podcast on the way to work. What does create discipline is having to pull back and open up a book and physically read those 10 pages, because you can't do anything else while you're doing it. You have to have the discipline of reading the book and having focus on it. You have to take a progress picture every day. And I think that's it. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about here in this, I'm just pulling up my notes right now. So the first lesson that I learned in the 75 hard experience is it's not about time, y'all. Like, that was the big thing that I thought the problem was going to be is, man, I'm just not going to have the time. I've got 3 young kids. I've got a wife. I've got a job that, demands more than my full time. I invest 40 hours a week into it. Sometimes I might pull a little bit more if I'm jamming on a really important project, but I take time off. I take vacations. I feel I have good balance there. But the question was like, well, shoot, how am I going to fit 2 workouts a day in? I was barely getting 3 workouts a week in and finding the time to do that. And guys, here's the deal. It's not about time. It's about priority. There's always enough time. There's always enough time. The question is, what do we need to spend our time on to get where we want to go in life? Do we need to spend our time on Instagram? No, that's probably not going to help us a lot. Do we need to watch that first, second, third, fourth, fifth TV show that day or that week? No, that's the time right there. Do we need to go waste time doing things that aren't serving you? Do you need to go through email? If you're an entrepreneur and you're making any sort of money, if you're making over 50 grand a year, hire a darn assistant. We just got my director of operations an assistant to free up 5 to 10 hours a week. Have someone help you with your email. Have someone help you with those tedious things. It's not about time. It's about priority. The question is, what is your priority? Is your priority your health? Is your priority your strength, your mental well-being? Is your priority momentum and becoming the person you want to be? Or is your priority answering that 14th email? Is your priority getting through the entire season of The Crown or whatever it's called? Okay? Look at what you're doing, what you're spending your time on, and that's where you're placing your priority. Okay, so number 2 is the first 5 hours of the day really set the tone. What would happen before I did 75 hard is I would start the day, and I was drinking a lot of water before that. Like, that didn't change, but I was more diligent making sure that I always got a gallon of water in. I worked out, y'all. Like, it wasn't where I started from cold turkey. I worked out, but I was starting to miss workouts because there just wasn't the mission behind why I really needed to work out more. And, I was in decent shape and that kind of thing, and I had decent energy. So what was the motivation to work out 5 days a week, let alone 14 times a week, right? And you guys might be asking that question. It's like, well, shoot, does working out twice a day hurt your body? Does it hurt your muscles? Does it wear you down? I can tell you for me, and then I'll give you a reason why this worked for me in a different tip here in a bit. But I can tell you for me, I actually never really felt wore out during 75 hard. Never did. Never did. I never felt like my body was being worn down. I never felt like my joints were hurting because of too many workouts. Nothing. I never did. And that was a limiting belief that I had going in because I don't have great joints. And so what you do is you modify your workouts. It's not like you're pumping iron twice a day really hard or running 10 miles in the morning, 10 miles in the evening. You could do that. That's your choice. Yeah, that's your choice. The requirements are you have to have a workout that's 45 minutes, twice a day, one outside, and or at least one outside. Okay? So a good brisk hike on your favorite trail for 45 minutes is a workout. Guys, you can do that with your family. Okay, you can do that with your dog. You can just get outside and move. That's the whole idea here, is creating the discipline to go move, to get outside and move the body. Okay, create that energy. Okay, you could do a 45-minute workout, pump and iron. That's awesome. I'm driving to the swimming pool right now. So I'm going to do 45 minutes of swimming. All right, so that's a workout. You could have a brisk walk on a Sunday morning with your family. We've done that many times with my family. The kids had fun doing it. They would even want to run. They'd want to do like intervals where we would run for 50 yards and then we would walk for 50 yards and we would run for 50 yards. It became a really, really fun thing. Okay, so you have time to do all this. You have time. And it's not going to ruin your body. Okay, so for me, I actually gained more energy by working out more. And I'll give you a tip here in a bit on how to keep the energy up. But the first 5 hours of the day set the tone. So make sure in that first 5 hours, you're getting your first 32 ounces of water in. Ideally, you get that first workout in that first 5 hours. And I found that the workout is a great catalyst to get your first 32 ounces of water down. Because if you're doing a good hard workout, if it's running or if it's lifting weights, you're going to pound that 32 ounces like nothing. And I have these carrot water bottles that I use that I love. They're just a Nalgene or however you say that water bottle, 32 ounces. And kind of my rule of thumb there that helps with the water is I just know I've got to drink 3 of those. I fill them up more than 32 ounces. I fill them up 36 all the way to the brim. So if I drink that, that's 30, 60, 90. What is that? That's 108 ounces right there. Okay. And so I'll drink 108 ounces by drinking 3 of those 32 ounce, but 36 ounce bottles. And then I'll usually have 1 to 2 glasses, like a 16 ounce glass of water in the morning and 1 before I go to bed. And so that finishes you off with the 120 plus ounces or so, give or take. I'm a little guy. I'm not 6'5". So I've got some buddies who are 6'3" doing 30-day hard, 30-day hard, 75 hard. And I'm sitting here 5'6", 5'7" on a good day. And so me putting a gallon of water a day versus the dude who's 6'5" putting a gallon of water a day is 2 different things. So if I'm right around there, if I get my 3 bottles in, then I get a good 16 ounces in the morning, 16 ounces in the evening. That for me, I'm completely pumped and proud about. Okay, guys, so the first 5 hours sets the tone. One thing I didn't get into the habit of is reading in the morning. That's something I do. I am going to shift moving forward as I'm going to start waking up and reading in the morning. I still haven't slayed the early wake up dragon. I'm still waking up at maybe 6:15. I'd love to wake up more like at 5 or 4:30 and to fit everything I want in during the day. Because I still feel like I'm wasting time after 10 p.m. And so that's something I'm going to change to. But the first 5 hours of the day set the tone. How are you spending your first 5 hours right now? Number 3, y'all, it's tempting to phone in a workout or fudge on water a little bit. But those are the mental moments that this thing is made for. Like 75 hard is made for you to mentally change. And the only way that we mentally change, y'all, is by being faced with those decisions. Sometimes they're small decisions. Sometimes it's that little tiny thing in your brain that says, it's okay to quit right now, or it's okay to not get that last rep in, or it's okay to stop at 5.2 miles versus 5.5 miles. Or it's okay to do blah, 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 blah. Instead, what you need to do during 75 hard is flip it the opposite way. Say, damn, my body and my brain is telling me that, 100 mountain climbers is all I can do. But you know what? I'm going to do 100, and then I'm going to do 5 more, and then I'm going to do 10 more, and then I'm going to do 10 more, and then I'm going to do 10 more. And before you know it, you've done 20, or you've done 200. Here's a good example for me is last week, I was wiped out. It was raining outside. I was wiped out just from the day, okay? But I'm like, okay, I don't really want to work out now. It's 10 o'clock and it's raining outside, but I got to get my last workout in. And so I went outside on the back deck in the rain, and I said, cool, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I haven't done chest in a day or two, so I'm going to do a bunch of push-ups and quarter-ups and things like that. And then I said, I had 15 to 20 minutes left. I'm like, cool, I'm just going to get up and do some jumping jacks. And I thought I was going to do maybe 100 jumping jacks. And then I was going to figure something else out. Because mentally, my brain was telling me 100 is probably all you can do right now because you're tired and things like that. So I did 100 and said, well, let me just do another 100. I think I got it in me. So then I did 200 and said, okay, I think I can get to 300. And then I'm like, cool, bam, hammered out 300. My calves are starting to get it a little bit. And I'm like, dude, let's just do 5. If I'm already at 3, I might as well go to 5 and and I know I can do this. It's not gonna be easy, but I know I can do it. So I got to 5, okay? And I'm like, shoot, I'm already halfway to 1,000, right? So my mind was expanding already. And there's something that happens when you're, doing something really challenging, that your brain shifts from a limiting belief holding you down to, oh my gosh, your brain starts to expand and realize it can do more than you ever thought. And so then, guys, I ended up doing 1,200 jumping jacks that night to finish up my workout. And those 1,200 jumping jacks really set me up mentally in a big way to where, I'd started growing a lot. So don't fudge on those workouts. Don't fudge on drinking the water. Those are the moments when you actually need to step into it even deeper and you start to grow big time. Don't fudge on it. Okay, number 4, it's not about others seeing you accomplish this, okay? It's about you and your heart and soul changing from the inside out. Now, what do I mean by that? In that first couple of weeks of doing 75 hard, I was kind of like getting on the 75 hard bandwagon of like, man, me posting about me doing it and posting all my workouts and doing all that. And there, I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of that, I'm gonna do this for other people, so I can inspire them. But really deep down, there was a tinge of me doing it for myself to kind of make myself feel good or look cool that I was trying this really hard challenge, right? And so it was a couple weeks in that I decided that was just dumb. I'm like, I'm just not going to post my stuff as much. It's not really about showing it to other people. It's about the mental change. And so if you guys were following along on Instagram, you probably saw that I wasn't posting my stuff as much. And some people might have thought I fell off the wagon and stuff like that, but I didn't. It became life to me. It didn't become this thing that I needed to prove and show people I was doing. It became this thing just for me and the mental change. And so at that point, I just kind of stopped posting as much. Now, I have another one right after this. So this is tip number 5 but it's also about sharing the journey and becoming the lighthouse for other people to inspire them to change their lives. Okay, so throughout the 75 hard, especially after I got past day 30, I'm like, you know what? I need to post this more, but not so people can, think I'm cool or whatever. Guys, there's people out there. There was me. I did 75 hard and I changed because I was inspired by other people who did it every day. And I saw them posting every day and showing up every day. And I'm like, man, they're inspiring me. If they can do this, I can do this. And so I shifted around halfway through and said, you know what? This isn't about me doing this for other people. It's about me doing it for me. But you know what? I want to inspire other people to do it. And by me not posting on this, I think it's selfish. I think it's actually selfish to not post on this to inspire others, because that's what inspired me. And so, yes, it's not about impressing other people, but I want you guys to share the journey and be the lighthouse to other people and inspire them as well. Okay, now number 6, 2 workouts a day honestly feels natural. What I was doing before now feels unnatural. What do I mean by that? So the biggest excuse people have with 75 hard is the 2 workout a day thing. How am I going to do it? When am I going to get it in? Things like that. And is it going to hurt my body? And am I going to become like Hulk Hogan or whatever during the process? You'll become whoever you want to become based on the workouts you give and how much you give to it. But guys, let me read this again. Okay, 2 workouts a day honestly feels natural. So why do 2 workouts a day feel natural to me now? Think about how our bodies were made. Think about how we are as human beings, guys. It's a pretty new phenomenon in the past 50 to 100 years for us to be sedentary, for us to be sitting. In the thousands or tens of thousands of years that humans have been around, guys, we have not been made to sit in front of a computer screen. We've not been made to sit in a car all day. We've not been made to hunch over our cell phones and our computer screens all day. That's not what our bodies have been made for. It's not what our minds have been made for. I think that's why so many people are depressed these days, on antidepressants. It's not because you have something mentally or chemically wrong with most people. I think it's because most people are looking at a computer screen and not moving all day and eating like crap. So honestly, if you're looking at a computer screen all day, not moving and working out, not drinking water, and you're eating like crap, what other way is there for you to feel other than crappy? There's no other way for you to feel other than crappy. And I would be depressed also. I would be depressed if I never had energy. I would be depressed if I started to get overweight and fat because I was choosing bad eating habits and not moving. I would get depressed because I wasn't sucking in good oxygen and creating energy from this body that we were given. Okay. And I've been there before. We've all been there. You might be there right now. But I want to ask you, okay, what is more natural? Moving twice a day and getting outside at least once and enjoying and living life and going out in the rain and working out if you have to and just feeling things be hard? Or would you rather be comfortable? Would you rather sit in that little cocoon and drink, unhealthy stuff and watch other people live their lives on Instagram and watch fake stories, on Netflix all day rather than living and creating your own life? What's more comfortable? What's more natural? I want to challenge you that working twice a day, drinking lots of water, eating healthy, moving your darn body is more natural than what we're doing right now. Okay? Number 7, you'll find every excuse in the world until your why becomes big enough that you need to grow personally to accomplish it. For me, going into last year, mid-year last year, I was reaching the end of my 5-year vision at Carrot. And I was kind of struggling. I've talked about this on podcasts before. There's an episode called Am I Selling Carrot? Where I talked about how I was struggling with this mid-year on what was the next vision for my life and for this business. And go check it out. I'm not selling Carrot, but go check it out because I talk about how I was mentally going through that this last year. As soon as I started to become clear on where I wanted to go, I realized, oh my gosh, the reason that I'm not there right now in life is because I'm not the person who can actually do that right now. I'm not the person who could actually even accomplish that right now. So then you ask the question, what type of person, who do I need to become in order to do that? Who do I need to become in order to accomplish that? And one of those things is I need to become way more disciplined. There's no way I can accomplish that with my current level of discipline. There's no way I can accomplish that doing what I'm doing now. And so my why became a lot bigger. And in order for me to accomplish the why, I had to change my personal vision for myself. And it made it to where 75 Hard was a conduit for me to gain the discipline, for me to become that better person and step into it. So you'll find every excuse in the world until your why becomes big enough that you need to grow personally to accomplish the vision of becoming that person. Okay, number 8, it's not a challenge, y'all. 30-day challenge or 75 Hard challenge. Don't say 75 Hard challenge because a challenge, I've talked about this before in the podcast, is time-based. It stops at a certain time. It's specific, right? 75 days is very specific, and the rules are very specific. And then there's accountability, which I set up an accountability group, okay? And that accountability group drove me through. Levi crushed it. And I'm going to have him on the Carrot Cast to talk about his journey. He's on the Carrot team. Brent crushed it. Same thing. I'll have him on to talk about his journey on the Carrot team as well with 75 Hard. Other friends, other mentors. Keith Sant crushed it. A customer, guys, is so cool. But it's not a challenge. It's a lifestyle. About halfway through 75 Hard, I started to realize, man, I don't want to stop this. What will happen if I stop this? My momentum will go away. And if I'm treating this like a challenge, like a 75-day thing where on day 76, things stop and I go choose a new challenge, guys, you just lost all your momentum. You just lost all your momentum. And I don't want to do that this time because what would usually happen is between challenges, I would then go, what's my next challenge going to be? I'd find a completely new challenge. It would take me a week or 2 or a month to find it. And then all momentum is lost during that time. And then it takes me 3 months to find it because my momentum and motivation to do it's gone or low. And then I slip back in my old ways. So this is not a challenge. It's a lifestyle. Okay, and I'll give you a good example of what I mean here, mindset-wise. I had a couple people ask me, "Hey, awesome, you nailed 75 Hard. What's next?" And my simple comment was day 76. That's next. I didn't have a bunch of fanfare yesterday. I made a post to inspire people, show my before and after photo, but more so the mental. And I said, day 76 is next. That's just the logical step for me. I want to keep the momentum going. So it's not a challenge, it's a lifestyle. Number 9, eat more than you think you need to. You'll need the energy. I talked to Brent on my team yesterday, who is finishing up 75 Hard for him today. And he was talking about how he's been really out of energy lately, how he's been wore out at the end of the day. And I was thinking, man, that hasn't been my experience. I have had more energy all day long 99% of the days than I've ever had in my life. And so what's the difference? And I said, cool. So what did you change in 75 hard versus your normal life? He said, of course I ran. So he's been running 5 miles a day almost every day. And then he does a second workout. Cool. So it sounds like you're running a lot. Were you working out much before? No, he wasn't. So he went from nothing pretty much to working out daily, which is awesome. And Brent, you absolutely freaking crushed it. You motivated me, dude, on it as well. But then we started talking about it a little bit more. And I said, did you change your diet at all? So yeah, he drank the water. Obviously that's a biggie. But I said, are you getting sleep? And he said, yep, I'm getting sleep. Awesome. The only thing left then is diet. That's the only thing. For getting energy, if you're getting sleep, if you're moving your body and working out and you're drinking a lot of water, the only thing left is your fuel. If you're not getting enough fuel or the right fuel, then you're going to be consuming the energy and it's not going to be creating it. So I changed my diet pretty heavily during 75 hard. A lot more avocados. I eat an avocado pretty much every single day. Probably not great for my cholesterol, but amazing for everything else. I have a protein shake every day, and I have a protein bar every day. I have they're called Think, T-H-I-N-K with an exclamation point, protein bars. I think they're awesome. They have low to no sugar, and they taste great, and they have 20 plus grams of protein. Those are the ones I have been using. So I have a protein bar, and then I have a shake. So that's about 50 grams of protein between the two right there. I drink my green juice from Organifi every single day. So that kind of fuels me with some things there. I eat a lot more salads. I eat a lot more protein. So lean proteins, chicken, things like that, fish. I eat lunch every day. So that was one thing I didn't do every day was I would get myself caught up in work and then I wouldn't have lunch. Then of course your energy is going to be shot. So I was really diligent with eating lunch every day and I packed my lunch every day. So of these 75 days, there might have only been maybe 2 days where I didn't eat my lunch. And I did feel it those days, but I ate my lunch maybe at 4 o'clock and then I went home and had dinner at 6:30. You got my workout in and I felt great. So guys, you need to make sure you're fueling up for sure. Okay, fuel up, fuel up, fuel up. And that's going to help you keep that energy. You need to eat more. Oh, another thing that I do every single day is I have a big handful of blueberries and a big handful of almonds. I put them inside of a Tupperware thingy. Blueberries on the bottom, a paper towel, and then almonds on the top so the almonds don't get mushy. And then I eat that as a snack around 10 or 11 o'clock. And so I don't really have a lot of breakfast. I'll drink a lot of water first thing in the morning. I'll have a banana in the morning. I will work out. I'll drink the remainder of the first 32 ounces, or I'll start with my second 32 ounces by then. I'll have blueberries and almonds mid-morning. Before lunch, I'll have my protein shake or my protein bar. I'll have lunch then, which is usually spinach with chicken or spinach with some sort of meat, some lime on it, and then an avocado. And then after lunch, probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I'll have the other protein thing, either the shake or the bar, whatever I didn't eat. And then I'll have dinner. And then sometimes even end of the day, around 8:30 or so, then I'll have like a little square of dark chocolate or something like that. And literally, I love it, y'all. And it gives me all the energy I need. Okay. So eat more than you think. Let's see. We're rounding it out. Number 11 or 10, whatever out we're now. I'm going to say 10. We waste a lot of time, y'all, in our lives on worthless stuff. Okay. Fill it with good stuff. And that for me was the biggest lesson with 75 Hard is how many excuses I've been making, how many things I've been saying that are completely not true about the time that we have in our lives. I don't have enough time to do this. The number one that I talked about, there's a reason I'm bookending this podcast in time things. Number one was, you have the time. It's not about time. It's about priority. Number 10 is I realized how much time I was wasting, right? And so I want you guys to look at and calculate how many TV shows are you watching every day and how much time is that? If you're watching an hour of TV every day, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? It's just one show. If you're watching an hour of TV every day, that's 7 hours a week. Okay, that's 28 hours a month. Okay, so that's more than one full day every single month of TV just watching one TV show. Okay, now let's times that by 12. This isn't going to be real math here because I'm not calculating 28 times 12. But that's something like 350 hours in a year, around there, right? Give or take. And so that's about, what is that, like 12 days a year, y'all? That's like 12 or 13 days every single year. If you watch one 1-hour TV show, or if you spend 1 hour a day on Facebook and Instagram just scrolling through it mindlessly, that's over 12 full days every single year completely lost to mindless activities that don't serve your life. Okay? Now I'm going to flip that around. If on a Friday or Saturday you have family movie night, and that's an event to build and bond, with your family, amazing. That's exactly what you should be doing at that time. I'm not saying don't watch TV. I'm not saying don't scroll up Instagram. I'm saying don't mindlessly do it. Do it with intention. If you're going to watch the movie with your family and have family movie night. Make it an event of it, your kids and you can remember. But don't flip on a TV show to fill time. Don't flip on a TV show at 8 o'clock because it's 8 o'clock and that's my TV watching time and that's what I do. Open up a book. Go do your workout, okay? Figure out a new diet plan. Search the internet to find a new diet plan. Search the internet to find a workout program to do. Search the internet to sign up for a race, okay? Go find the next book and build your book library, okay? Map out your plan for the next day rather than watching that TV show. Okay, get to bed an hour earlier so you can wake up an hour earlier and tackle the day earlier. Guys, we're spending over 12 days a year mindlessly going on TV. Now, that's only one TV show a day. If you watch 2 a day, okay, let's say you watch 2 a day. Now, it's just a couple hours a day. Between 8 and 10 o'clock, I turn on TV and I veg out, right? I kind of like wind down. Guys, that right there is over 25 full days every single year to mindlessly watching TV and or the internet, scrolling through it, not serving you at all. I want to ask you, what could you do in 25 days in your year to change your life or others' lives? Now I want you to ask the question, do you really not have time? Do you really not have time to do 75 hard? Do you really not have time to do the important things in life? Or are those flat out excuses because you don't have a clear enough vision on where you want to become and who you want to become that you're not placing priority on the things that matter most? If you don't have a clear vision that excites you, that's big, that requires you to grow, then you will slip into mindless activities that suck your energy, mindless activities that lead you away from your ideal life. Your vision is the key. Go back and listen to my episodes about vision, about how I've evolved with my personal vision and my business visions. The vision's the key, y'all. I'm going to wrap with this. I'm going into workout, going into swim. I'm a little bit late. I got excited on this podcast. But my vision this year, as it relates to that, is I want to be a smooth, clean swimmer that's confident. I've got a clear vision now of how I want to swim, how I want to look when I'm swimming. I've got a clear vision of a time that I want to get. Like my clear vision was literally get across the swimming pool, swimming for my first time, and I did it last week. And so now my vision is cool. I want to get across 5 times, be able to swim back and forth 5 times without stopping. Once I hit that, then I'm going to pick like a time. Then I'm going to pick, cool, I want to get a lap done in this amount of time, and then I'm going to keep on doing that. So that's my vision and my goals. But before I didn't have that. I just had this weird vision of I just want to learn how to swim. And that's the same vision a lot of people have of I want to be wealthy, I want to make money, right? Whatever it is, I want to be happy. Like, well, what specifically is it? Like, what does happy mean to you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does wealthy mean to you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does your house look like? What does your car look like? How do you donate your time and your money? What does it look like? Not just what do you want to do? And so same thing with your personal vision. Not I want to become better. Not I want to become stronger, not I want to become more confident. Specifically, what does that look like in your life? What traits will you have? What things will you do? What will your day look like in specifics? And then walk it back. And if the 75 hard experience can help you change your life the way that it has me and so many others, I want you to step into it. Use this episode for that motivation and that guide. Follow me on Instagram. I'll help motivate you through it. And guys, I believe in you. You can do this. It's not about time. It's about priority. And it's about that vision for yourself. And you can do this, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, Trevor.Mauch, Mauch. And if you have not seen our Carrot Camp page yet, go to carrotcamp.com. We already have more than 15 applications for this next Carrot Camp. We're making phone calls now. And we're going to sell out really fast. Every single Carrot Camp, I dive into this mindset stuff deeply. And I'm going to do the same thing on this next Carrot Camp. But you can apply for our previous Carrot or our next Carrot Camps after that. We do them twice a year. Just go to carrotcamp.com, y'all. And if you want to grow your marketing, grow your business, get off of that marketing hamster wheel so you can have more time and you're not doing your cold calling, your direct mail, or that kind of stuff, and you're building momentum with your marketing, you're getting off the hamster wheel for more freedom, go to carrot.com/evergreen. Watch my webinar on exactly how to do that. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of the week. We'll talk soon. The rest of the week, we'll talk soon.